Establishing Norms, Rules, and Procedures by Angela and Francis. A caring classroom community relies on a positive climate that enhances student interaction. An important step in creating this climate is generating norms, rules, and procedures for the class. First, what is the difference between a norm, a rule, and a procedure? Procedures should be understood as the practical operation of a classroom. Norms are the standard of acceptable behavior. Rules are statements of what is and is not allowed in the classroom. All three should be solidly established at the very beginning of each school year and reinforced throughout the year. There will of course be times when rules or procedures need to be changed, abandoned, or altered throughout the year. These rules should be reasonable, enforceable, and respectful. They should also be understandable to EAL students. Teachers who are giving them should explain the reasons behind them. Classrooms that do not have a clear system of rules and procedures will inevitably devolve into chaos. As Marzano points out, studies have shown that the most effective teachers are the ones that spend the most time at the beginning of the year setting norms, rules, and procedures. The least effective teachers spend little time on procedures and inevitably struggle to maintain order in the classroom for the rest of the year. In this presentation, we will examine best practices for the creation of rules and procedures in the primary classroom. We will also give examples of how we use rules and procedures in our own classrooms to better facilitate learning and create a positive classroom environment. Since we are both teaching in primary, we are going to focus on the norms, rules, and procedures best suited for primary level students, grades 1 to 4. This being said, there are some obvious differences in maturity between these grades. We will point out where these procedures can and should be adapted for older and younger children. Every classroom must have norms, rules, and procedures to indicate to students what kind of a classroom atmosphere they are contributing to. They should understand from the first day of school that this is a place of learning and respect, and be given clear instructions on what this looks like. Students should be given plenty of examples showing what the classroom that you want to see looks like before they can start interpreting for themselves. Eye charts, role plays, and anchor charts and posters provide students with concrete information and modeling that can be easily reinforced by the instructor throughout the year. The responsive classroom model for reinforcing rules is one that has had great success in many classrooms across the world. The idea is to get students invested in their own learning and their own classroom atmosphere, rather than be faced with an authoritarian telling them to follow the rules or else. A responsive approach has the children participate in the making of their own rules. It also makes strong use of modeling by the teacher and draws attention to the rules that were made as a class every time a rule is broken. This helps the students better understand why the rule is there and why they should follow it for their own well-being and the well-being of their classroom community. The enforcement of procedures generally starts from the second the students walk into the classroom at the beginning of the day. In an effective classroom, students know what to do from the second they walk in. In our classrooms, students generally follow the same procedures. Immediately upon entering the class, students put their things away where they belong. Backpacks, jackets, homework, water bottles, diaries, pencil cases, books, and sharp pencils should all have a place in the classroom, and students should know where that place is. To have an effective end of the day, students must know what to do to prepare to leave their classroom. One variation of an end-of-day procedure used in our classrooms is as follows. Students should tidy up their desks in the classroom, write all of the homework in the agendas, pack everything away in their backpacks, and come back to their desks to have our daily debrief of what we learned, where we had problems or conflicts, and to give whole class rewards for on-task behavior and kindness. These procedures should be introduced at the beginning of the year with an anchor chart and clear examples and non-examples, role-played by the teacher and the students.
Created using Powtoon.